Hey friends, Paco here. I have something special for you all today. We're gonna pack our camera bags and actually hit the road to shoot some landscape photography outdoors. It's gonna be with none other than this guy. Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Paco, but in another room Paco. Anyways, let's talk gear. We should have a general idea of what we're going to shoot and where we're going. This will give us a better idea of what gear to bring. For this specific shoot, we're going to be shooting some wide-angled landscape photography, which means I'll be bringing this lens. It's a 16 to 35 millimeter lens that will give me a variety of different framing options. Ah yes, the sound of flexibility. Thanks, creepy Paco back in the office. Now, I usually like to do a little bit of hiking to get away from the crowds and get a unique shot. So, I'm gonna opt for lightweight and portable gear. I'll be bringing this carbon fiber tripod, which clocks in only at about 1.5 pounds. That's about 0.7 kilograms for my metric friends. This Canon 5D Mark III. I have 2 SD cards inside and shooting in the RAW format, very important. An ND filter in case we want to go for that silky smooth water effect or blur some clouds. Some extra batteries. Always need to have 1 or 2 of these handy. Trust me. Hey, honestly man, just let me get through this. Like I said, I try not to overdo it with my gear. The lighter it is, the more comfortable that hike will be. Speaking of comfortability, I'm gonna place this gear inside this day pack. It's got a chest strap, so it's gonna be really great in taking the weight off those shoulders.
With all this photo planning, I've yet to reveal where we'll be shooting. We're headed to Lake Tahoe. The plan is to shoot a sunset on the Nevada side of the lake. The reason we're shooting on the east side of the lake is because the sun will set to the west. This is where I assume most of the color will be. This app shows me where the sunsets are, which is helpful in planning my shoots.
All right, so here we are at our location. This is the hiking part. I like to get here early. I like to make sure I got everything I need. Then it's just easy coasting until the sun sets. So we do all the hard work before the sun sets. We don't want to miss it. All right, so we're kind of getting to where I'm thinking we need to be shooting. So I'm gonna go explore down over there. All right, so here we are in the location I pretty much had in mind. It's looking pretty darn good. We have some beautiful rocks that we can use as the foreground. Got some good cloud coverage. Cloud coverage is good. That's actually what gives us the beautiful sunsets that we all see in amazing photography. Right off the bat, looking for some leading elements. What I mean by leading elements are kind of framing up your picture so that the eye naturally wanders down the framing into some awesome focal points.
A great example of leading elements comes from our friend Toby Shinobi's work. Notice how he composes his shots so that your eyes naturally wander toward specific focal points. This is a great case study on how using natural and artificial elements can enhance photography.
All right, so I think I know where we're gonna be shooting. We're actually gonna be shooting, boom, right down there in that little cove. We're gonna head down there and I'm gonna let you know how the framing is and how we're gonna compose this shot. Check this out, it's a ducky. Give a thumbs up emoji to our duck friend who's enjoying this view as much as we are. All right, so here's our framing. Let me explain why I chose this. So first of all, I have a really nice reflection with the still water right here. So when you have still water like this, it makes for amazing reflections. So I definitely want that in my shot. And then also, look at these clouds. They're not going anywhere. They're kind of staying put. So I definitely want these clouds in the background. All right, so one thing I haven't talked about is the type of photography I do, especially for sunsets. And that is called HDR photography, or high dynamic range photography. Now, the reason that we want to do HDR photography is because my camera can't really capture all the dynamic range that is going to be in a setting like this, right? I gotta either expose for the sun, or I gotta expose for the foreground or the middle ground. I can't have it all, at least with this camera. So what I do is I set it up so when I do one shutter fire, it's gonna take 3 shots in immediate order. We can actually blend these 3 exposures together so that we get one photo that has all the dynamic range, the foreground, the background, and the middle ground. So let me show you how I set that up on my camera now. This is pretty much what we're looking for. For this Canon camera, it's called Expo Comp or AEB. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for in this camera. So when I go there, you gotta set the setting, right? What are your 3 exposures gonna be? So for me, I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna move the shutter wheel, right? And then these 3 bars represent the 3 different shots that this camera's gonna take. So we have one shot that's gonna be in 0, one shot that's gonna be 2 stops overexposed, and one shot that is 2 stops underexposed. So I'm gonna hit OK, and let me show you how that looks. All right, so I'm gonna pull the trigger once, boom. Then listen to this. You hear that go 1, 2, 3, and then it took 3 shots. 1, I'll show you. There's 1, 2, and 3. One more thing I wanted to talk about was how to frame your shot. Okay, there's all different types of overlays to do, but probably the easiest one, and that most people know, is the rule of thirds. And I'm kind of framing it so where the lines intersect, I have these places of interest, right? So on the left side, I kind of have this awesome color that we're starting to get with the sunset. And on the right side, on those intersecting points, are where I think that color is really going to be on those clouds. All right, without further ado, we're probably 15, 20 minutes away here. So I'm gonna start shooting. Let's do it. I'm gonna say right now, even if we don't get this color that I'm hoping we get with these clouds here, I'm pretty satisfied with these shots. We'll have some good stuff to edit in the studio. Hey, check it out, more ducks. All right, friends, I'm gonna go ahead and officially call it. It's about 10, 15 minutes past when the weather app says it's gonna sunset, so I really don't think we're gonna get much color on these clouds, but hey, that's all right. I had an amazing time being out here with you all, showing you my process and how to shoot landscape photography. And yeah, I hope you all learned something here. We're actually gonna take these photos that we took. There's still some very good ones, I think, that we took in this little session. And we're gonna take it back to the studio, to Studio Paco, and we're gonna edit these photos live with you all right? So again, thanks for tuning in, and let's kick it back to the studio.